How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Bitcoin update. If you remember the last Bitcoin video, I was speaking about this falling wedge, but we were already thinking a few steps ahead. So we've now bounced. For the last few days, we just literally went sideways, flat on the weekend, because as I was saying on Friday, we're going into the weekend, pumping into it. That was this day. In fact, I said in the video, it wouldn't be surprising if we went to 100K today. And where did it go to? $100,175. What I said would happen is if we pumped there today, we would get rejected. And we fell all the way back down to 96K. So it literally played out exactly as I was suggesting. But the support was maintained out of the falling wedge pattern. And so this means that we're still trading inside of this bullish pattern, expecting the bullish breakout. What I was then suggesting is, even though this is meant to break out bullish, the issue is that we find many resistances in the way, stopping it from getting to its ultimate target back at 106K. And if you've been keeping up with my updates, then you would know this is the all-important level, 106 to 107. Yeah, you can drag it up to 108. These three levels are vital because it's stopping the bullish continuation. By breaking through that, you've got this potential double bottom over here. So if we want to see new all-time highs, if we want to see the altcoins bottoming out and an altcoin season for once, we need to see 106 at least being broken. So even before that point, there are many resistances up ahead. If I now use my Fibonacci's, okay, more specifically 105, 107. Now the reason why I was saying 106 and 108 is because on the first initial move down before the pullback up, we can see that, 106 to 107.9, let's just call it 108. So I can actually readjust this so we're covering more levels just like that. This all remains valid, and we can see some other levels over here as well. So I can place another fib. Since we bottomed out down over here and topped out right there, we saw another move down begin where Bitcoin traveled down to 94K. So this is a new Fibonacci that I can place with the more macro one, and we can see some confluence in certain areas with levels overlapping the other fib. So it just gives us more solid resistance areas. And we can see all the levels Bitcoin needs to break through if we want alt to bottom. So the risk right now is we could pump. And if you can see, we've already tapped into the 55 moving average, that orange one, and have rejected it immediately at 98K. So already pulling back under the falling wedge resistance. And we need to see the daily candle close above this key area to initiate the breakout. So then we could see altcoins pumping 15, 20, 30%. Bitcoin could pump, and you could see altcoins pumping 50%. The issue is that it could just be drawing us back into the market for it to dump on us again. That is the risk at the moment. So I'm watching Bitcoin's next move. My expectation really with this bullish pattern is that it should break out to the upside. My issue with all of this is that there's so much resistance, it should fail before reaching this target. It's a very good sign if Bitcoin can get to the target, although once the target's complete, we pull back. And then it's about turning these previous resistances into support to continue higher. So there's a lot that still needs to play out in order to say the market is safe once again. We've got the bullish pattern, it needs to take advantage of it. The risk is there's so much resistance in the way, it could roll over once again. What would that do to the altcoins that have continued to be weak, even when there are some signs of a bounce? So some coins are getting a nice bounce right now with today's pump. On Bitcoin's only up 1%, but some coins are up 10. Sui, for example, is up 10% today. So that's a nice move, of course. I bet its ecosystem is also doing well, but I'll just recommend, if you are looking into Sui, just stick to Sui then, the coins in its ecosystem, because if the market dumps, then any coin's getting hurt, and the larger caps are what's going to hold up the best pretty much. Just need to make sure that Bitcoin breaks through all these key levels: 100K, 102, 105, 106, 107, and 108,000 US dollars. breaking that final level, I know it's pretty much breaking the highs. Of course, it's going to go higher at that point, but this is a level which, as long as price is remaining under it, there is still risk of losing this green box down here, 91k. So Bitcoin could still go ahead, pump, drag the market up another 20, 30, maybe even as high as 50% move up on the altcoins here if Bitcoin breaks out of this falling wedge, and it can all be given back. That is the risk. So of course, at the moment, you have to say across the market, with a move up coming from here, this is a good DCA moment. Of course, the issue is that's right now. Of course, it can develop and later we could be given a new lower low, which would then be the best DCA at that very moment if you see a move up. But then you could roll over once again and lose that low. So as of right now, you're not going to get a better price than down over here, obviously. Later, it can develop and you might get a better price. But it could also develop differently into a longer term bottom if we do actually see these resistances broken. So what could you do in this situation if you're completely scared that it will roll over to new lows? Well, whatever you were considering DCA, you can just like split it up, just slow DCA in case we do roll over. Or the issue is if you skip this DCA and we do actually break out, you'd say, with hindsight, looking back when we're up at that price, you'd say, that was the best price. But of course, until we're up there, yeah, there is that risk of rolling over and going lower, and you might get some better prices. So just split up your DCA. It's called DCA for a reason. You don't throw everything in one go. That's it from me today. Like, subscribe, comment, and share so we can hit 10k subscribers. So many more viewers on the Bitcoin updates. I really appreciate that. Check out the Discord community if you want to get some further exclusive content morning, day, and night from myself and my successful students. So yeah, I'll leave you there. Cheers. Links down below.